Okay, a few of you expressed a concern on how do I graph this. So the first thing you should notice when you look at this is that it's raised to the second power. Now I have some posters in the classroom, and anytime we have a power of 2, where that's the largest exponent, we have a parabola. This is a quadratic equation, and it makes a parabola when you graph it. But how do we get to the graph? Well, when you don't know how to graph an equation, or in this case an inequality, you want to set up a table. And then you want to pick some values that you can plug in here. And I like to choose some negative numbers and some positive numbers. Those are usually my go-to inputs. You've heard of X being the input and Y being the output, right? So doing the math here, we're going to go ahead and start by inputting the -2 in. So to calculate the Y value, we're going to plug -2 in for X. So -2, I'll show the work for the first one and then we'll do the other ones in our head. So -2 minus 1 is going to give us, that's going to be -3. -3 squared is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. Okay, so moving on to the next one, plugging -1 in, we have -1 minus 1 squared plus 2. So that's going to give us -2. -2 squared is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, and moving on, we have 0, plugging 0 in. We have 0 minus 1 squared plus 2. So that's going to be -1 inside. -1 squared is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So far, so good. Plugging 1 in, 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 squared is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now, if you remember from Unit 1, when you have a quadratic, you have this thing that happens. It's called symmetry. So since this number is in the middle, let's find out what the next one is. If we have come up with a symmetry, this number here should be the same as this number here. Let's find out. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. So there you have it. So the point in the middle, remember, is known as the vertex. So now that we have some points, we go to our graph and we start plotting them. So our vertex, if you'll recall, hopefully you have those points written down, is 1, 2. So 1, 2. And then plotting the other point, 0, 3, 2, 3, 3, 6, and -1, 6. Oh, do you see it? You see the axis of symmetry going through? Okay, so before I connect these dots, recall from my video that when there's no equal sign, okay, we have to make it a dashed line. Okay, and recall from my video as well that in order to find out where you shade, you have to use a test point. And a real simple test point to use is 0, 0, as long as it's not on the line, or on the parabola in this case. So let's plug this in. So 0 goes in for y, 0 goes in for x. Okay, so 0 is less than, it's going to be -1 squared, which is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so is 0 less than 3? Yes, that's a true statement. So we shade in the area of the point. in the area of the point. So looking back here, so notice where 0, 0 is. It's on the outside of the parabola versus the inner part of the parabola. So basically, the solutions are going to exist anywhere on the outside of this parabola, but no points on a dashed line. So any of these points. So 0, 0 is a solution. 1, 0 is a solution. 2, 1 is a solution. Negative 1 is a solution. Any point outside of this parabola is a solution. Well, I hope that helps you guys out. Hope you're having a good weekend. And thanks, Travis, for the recommendation. You're okay.